Settlement geography is one of those sections of geography that has not actually been taken from any source, like economic, like population, like climatology, like geomorphology, and so on. It's true geography. Why exactly it is called as true geography is because it tries to answer one question. And the question is simple, very, very simple. That is, why the people settle the way they do wherever they do. Why the people settle the way they do wherever they do. And then the moment you try to answer this question, you will be able to encompass everything. You will be able to encompass it's a physical geography, it's human geography, it's economics, it's transportation, it's industry, it's agriculture, or what not. What not. That's what makes people settle in a place, all in all. And therefore, this is going to be composite of the topics. And when we say composite, it basically means that it is comprising everything possible and everything imaginable in this case. Now, having said that, settlement geography in geography section is, of course, both in the first paper as well as in the second paper. Now, in the first paper, it is a slightly theoretical as well, and in the second paper, it is a more applied. Of course, I like most of these things, but then you're not going to find a lot of applications in the second paper, because so far we haven't seen that at all in general. So we are picking up both of these aspects, largely because when you study a topic like internal structure, you study internal structure both for the first paper as well as for the second paper, because it goes on to get applied in both of these cases. That's going to be one. There's a second reason as well. A good number of examples, a good number of theories are considered essentially in the pretext of the examples of the second paper. Maybe that is, second paper is always going to be an example feeder for the first paper topics. Now, the topic essentially comprises of two components. First is rural settlement, that's one. So how is it that a village comes into being? What are the forms of the rural villages? How is it that the village is going to look like? What is the shape of the village? What is the size of the village? Where do the people live? And in which way is it that the people live? That becomes one component. That is part of it. Second is, if you're going to take it in the second form, second is the urban settlement. Now, urban settlement picks up three components. The first is cities. What are cities? How is it that the cities are? How is it that they're defined? How is it that they're conceptualized? The second is urban growth, urban development, and urbanization. All three of them having a different meaning altogether. So, why is it that an urban area goes on to grow? And how is it different from urbanization? To what extent the processes are going to be responsible in this case, and to what extent the processes are significant as well? There is urbanization, urban system, that means the link between the different type of settlements. And when we are talking about the different type of links, now these links basically mean the link between a village and a city and a metropolis along with the capital city. It's like talking about that a village in Uttar Pradesh will be linked to, how is it is going to be linked to Gazipur? How is it that Gazipur will be linked to Lucknow? How is it that Lucknow will be linked to Delhi? And how is it that Delhi will be ultimately linked to a global city that we go on to call it by the name of New York? Now, this is the link. That is what it is talking about. It's an urban system. So it talks about cities, urban growth, urban development, urbanization, urban system. These are the three aspects. And then, of course, the policy measures like what exactly are the problems of urban growth? How is it that they can be solved? And to what extent new type of problems are emerging, and to what extent it is that they can be instrumentally being solved. So, There are two sections, all in all, that we talked about. Rural settlements, a small topic. The manifestation of the first paper is exactly in the second paper. Rural settlement types and rural settlement pattern. And then with respect to urban settlement, the manifestation is also going to be the same. Cities, the nature of the cities, how is it that the cities are organized, why is it that the central part of the city is going to be important, why is it that people do not going to like to live in the central part of the city anymore. Who are the people who want to live in the central part? Why is it people going to build farmhouses? And to what extent the farmhouses are going to be so important and so significant? And to what extent also is it that the place where exactly is it that they're built? What are gated communities? Why is it that the people going to move? To what extent the movement is going to be within the urban area or outside the urban area? Who are the people who come to the city? And when they come to the city, where is it that they're going to settle? And once they're going to settle, who are the people who are going to be displaced? And where exactly is it that they're going to go? So it talks about the internal structure and then the associated regions of internal structure, like the fringe area, like the whole of this sprawl area. When we are talking about the fringe area, the sprawl area, and other of them, then we are essentially talking about many components. We are talking about the expansion of the city, and city expansion, that means to what extent is it that the cities are going to be thinking themselves of expanding, and they have expanded as well. That is one. And also to what extent is it that the expanded cities are going to be even more significant and even more important as well. And when they are going to be in such a manner, then it is going to be in such a way, it is going to be in such a way that we are always going to be concerning ourselves with a lot of new developments, lot of new concepts. So that is the cities. Urbanization and other aspects, you have to take everything possible. That is economic process of urbanization, social process of urbanization, psychological, which is the most important one of them, because being a process, if you're a part of a process, you will understand that you have undergone certain type of a change, and what are the changes that you have undergone through. That means you have undergone a change in your mindset, you have undergone a change in your dressing, you have undergone a change in your food habits, you have undergone a change in your demeanor, in your mannerism, you have undergone a change in the type of words that you're going to be using. Of course, more recently, the more vulgar the words that you're going to be using, the more urbane that you are going to be also. That's the reason you're going to find that a good number of films also going to show it to you that you have to use F word frequently here, there, even in front of your parents as well, even in front of your gods as well. You have to keep on using it. That will going to make it smart. And of course, this is all for the sick people who don't have any personality, any iota of an identity. But then a good number of people living in urban areas said they are without any identity, without any personality, and without any, what we call it as a purusharth. They are complete laggards, they are complete herds who can be driven in any direction. But then that is a part of it. If all the people go on to become leaders, what will happen? And if all the people, if there must be some person who should be fit enough for being driven, for being treated like a doggy also, unless, because the society will go on to run only in this way. This is what people think of. They don't go to think in the Sanatani manner. That is the type of a society that used to exist during Ram Raj, or even during the time of Buddha as well, and so on. The other aspect associated with it, the policy, the problems, this is a topic which you can go on to understand, study it without too much amount of a study. And why we say so? We say it so largely because it is going to be all based on observation. That is, the sharper the observation that you have, the better you are going to be placed with respect to that. That is going to be one. Second is that it's not only about observation, it's also going to be about a minimal amount of a study also. That is, intuitive learning will go on to play a much bigger role to help you understand this topic here. It's like you can study this much amount of a matter, but you can go to study only about 100 pages and listen to a lot of things, observe a lot of things, and still can go to prepare for this subject. That's the best and the biggest advantage associated with it. It involves imagination, it involves analysis, it involves observation, and of course, to a small extent, it also requires a knowledge, amalgamation of knowledge, synthesis of knowledge, and fusion of all of those things that have been studied. That is the best part about settlement geography.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.